evening and welcome to All About Sport, live from the top of the town studios, Conlon Street, Cavan, on your local channel, cavantv.com. Each week we will include a wide variety of sport from all around County Cavan, and if you'd like your sport featured on the show, simply contact drumlinmedia@gmail.com. This week I am joined by Rory Nash, PRO of the Cavan Motor Club, and Rory, you're very welcome to the studio.
Thanks
yet
so much,
again.
Louise. Yeah.
You're not your first time here with us on All About Sport.
No, might make a weekly supplement to this.
I think so, why not? Yeah, we love featuring everything that's happened with Cavan Motor Club. So the season has started, and tell us a little bit about what's happening and what's coming up with Cavan Motor Club in 2013.
Well, basically this year we're going back to our original format again of with the Quarry Cross. I know we'll be showing a little bit of it later on.
That takes place up in Latton, is it?
That's right, yes, in Latton, just outside Coot Hill. So there'll be 7 rounds this year, part of the Mervyn Wedlock Plant Hire Championship. As well with that, we're having a night navigation trial, which is also up around Coot Hill. So
that sounds exciting.
have a bit of a monopoly.
So nighttime driving.
Yeah.
Is this in Latton as well, the nighttime navigation?
It's not. It'll be on public roads. It's at a controlled speed. It's a 30 mile an hour average, and you use maps instead of notes. So it's
right. Okay.
a wee bit more technical and slower, like so. And then of course we have the Cavan Stage Rally this year as well. So it's the centrepiece, which will be in the end of May. So it's a full year ahead.
There's lots coming up anyway. Yeah, so full year ahead. So your role as a PRO, I suppose you've a busy year ahead, and you've obviously taken on the role for another year. Yeah. We hope to have you in here many more times. Well, Brian was up in Latton last weekend at the Autocross, and let's have a look at what Brian got up to in all that rain and sleet. Looks like he had a really good day. Check this out.
With Stephen McCann. Stephen, some very wintry conditions.
Yeah, it's very, very wintry out there now. The track is fairly wet, a few puddles, but after we four-wheel drive anyway, we're not too wet.
And I hear from the grapevine that you're competing in Galway. This is not untypical weather for the Galway International.
Yeah, well, this will be kind of what we'd be expecting now, yeah. So hopefully that's what we're hoping for, yeah.
And what class are you going in Galway?
Class 15 will be in the modified, it'll be in the national section.
Yeah.
So we'll be up against all the matches, and we'd be hoping for a bit of rain, I suppose, just to make an advantage.
Right, and I see you have the Mitsubishi Evo. Could you give us some details, the number?
Yeah, that's a 7 and just the Group A. More or less standard, really, road car, really, part of the gearbox and a few little bits to diff and that, But I know it's a good job. Never really lets down too much now, so.
Of course, with February and Galway, the road conditions are always difficult. There's been snow and very severe rain at different years. So how are you preparing, especially with the tyres?
Sure, soft as we can, I suppose. That's all we can really do. But it's going to be cold anyway, so soft, wet, is going to be the way to go.
Another very important part of rallying is sponsorship. If you want to mention some of your sponsors and let them know that you acknowledge their support.
Well, Plots, that's my father and uncle's business. They're kind of more or less the only main sponsor that we have. That's really it. And Panther Racing Fuel as well. That's the petrol that we're using. Is racing fuel.
But you're still open for sponsorship, so anybody that wishes to.
Yeah, I'll contribute. There's plenty of space left in the car, and we can make room for you anyway.
And in Latton here, how have you competed?
Well, this is only the second time we had this car down here, but I was down here before in Civic for a couple of years, kind of where I started out, It's a good out spot to get started out,
And you feel that is a good bedding in for the car for Galway?
It is, yeah. Just kind of make sure it's all okay, we gave it a good overhaul before anyway, just to kind of make sure everything's intact for Galway, So.
Well, right, hopefully we'll meet with you again, and maybe we'll have some more with you when you've competed in Galway.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you very much, then.
saying that last car that just went there is one of the female drivers, Clem Rooney. Where is she from?
That's right, Clem Rooney. She's driving on the Civic. She's from Sligo, just outside North Sligo, in each direction. She also competes in the junior category. She in fact won the junior category as well. So she's very talented.
And she's been driving for many years.
I think she's only been driving 2 years at this stage. She started in Latton.
Progressed. And is she so is there a female category, or she's just in with everybody?
No, there would be a ladies award, alright, on the day, but she also competes with the rest of the competitors, like, so she can win overall as well.
Yes, she did. And for a woman, would you say she's good? Be very careful what you say right now.
No, of course, she's very good. All women drivers are very good.
Yeah. I like to think so, Rory. We can multitask. It does help.
You must come down and prove it someday.
I know, yeah, I'd love to. I'll bring my MG with me.
Oh yeah, let's see how you get on.
Yeah. Who's this yellow car there, Rory?
The yellow car is actually Jerry McIntyre. He's the MD of Coodle Precision Engineering. He's a long time member of the club, good supporter of the club, good supporter of Latton for you as well. Normally does very well in the day.
Yeah. So, not a great day for the event. A little bit chilly, was it?
Yeah, very attentive. Yeah, it's very chilly, very wet that day. Not great conditions, but it evens the field. That's the good thing about a wet day like that. The smaller cars can compete with the big cars as well. Like.
Okay, right. So it
power.
doesn't kind of hinder the competition at all.
Exactly. Power doesn't mean anything to you on that day.
Yeah. Okay, so power, it's making around the track in one piece.
Exactly. That's the name of the game.
So it's a great day for the family, and not many spectators there on the day, probably due to the weather conditions, but generally you usually have a really good turnout.
Yeah, normally we have a big turnout. We have a lot of facilities on for spectators as well. You know, we've a burger van and all that there, quite hot food. We also have a view and point up on the hill, which gives a very good view of the track.
Very safe as well.
Very safe as well, I think. Of course, we can go down and meet the drivers as well and chat about the cars and all that during the event. So
that's always nice.
So it's a good family day out.
So if I come up, I get to chat to drivers, have a drive and have a burger.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. We'll talk about the middle bit of driving.
Yeah. Do you know what I have to prove myself.
That's
first.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
You have to have the license as well. So.
Oh, right, yeah, exactly. I can sit in the car with me.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do. We'll arrange something.
So this in the black car, what's it?
Here's a 205. Yeah. Not actually sure who that is. That's somebody with a new car for this year. I think it's Travis Humphrey. I think from being.
So what's been explained to me is it's about it's not about the speed, but it's how the acceleration on the cars is the important part of the all-cross.
The big thing is just keep it neat and tidy and don't lose time. It's on a day like that, like I said, you having big power won't help you. You'll spin up and lose time, and you'll not get your traction down, you'll not get the speed up. But it's all about keeping it neat and tidy and keeping the momentum between corners. It'll help you a lot. Just mainly don't crash.
Yeah.
It's the best way to win.
Any crashes on the day, or okay?
Yeah, there was no. When I say don't crash, there won't be normally in Latton you won't have a very big off. You just.
Yeah. Do you have I should see that.
Yeah, it's gorgeous January day.
Exactly.
Because
we move further into the season, it'll hopefully improve weather-wise.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you have like St John's ambulance or?
Yeah, full ambulance. Marshall point. See the fellow with the bib there's Marshall, and he's 7 Marshall points around the track. They all fire extinguishers and all that.
Oh, right. Okay, so safety, again, we've spoken about it on the show before, but safety is a massive part of this for it to kind of
to
go ahead.
Safety is paramount.
Right. Thank you, Brian, for getting out in that weather and bringing autocross to our screens. But, you know, what range of activities do Cavan Motor Club provide for drivers and spectators, Rory?
Well, we generally, throughout the year, as I mentioned, we'd have the whole the championship for drivers involving the autocross, and you can do the stages and the night navigation as well. That's not only what we do, we also provide services for if you want to get out there and give a hand. We organise marshals training nights, competitor safety nights, fire training as well, fire safety. As well, we organise if you want to go away and marshal at some event, say we go to Sligo or Monaghan or places like that as well. So we'll organise if you want to go and do a bit of marshalling as well and just help out. So
so if people are interested in that, so there's lots of different. So you really provide lots of different things. So what comes under the Cavan Motor Club is the autocross and the rallycross. They're the two main.
Yeah, well, the rallying.
Rallying, yeah. You can explain it better than I can. And what we've just been watching there is the autocross, which is track. Yeah,
it's on a closed loop. It's a mile long and it's very controlled and it's very safe. So it's a good start on it.
And then the rallycross is the road stages.
Yeah, just rallying.
Yeah,
it's
just rallying.
Just rallycross is on a track as well.
Okay, so you just say rallying. Explain the different categories of cars that you would have then.
Yeah, well, in the rallies themselves, you can have anything from a 4-wheel drive, 2-litre turbocharged car, anything down to a 1300, or even a 1-litre, even if the mood takes you.
Yeah.
We also cater for historic cars as well, stuff like your minis or old escorts as well. Yeah. And throughout the classes, then they're all segregated and just go by the power and size of the engine and the technology involved in the car. So it just makes it a lot fairer for people and make sure it's a slightly more level playing field. So.
Brilliant. So Brian also met up with Mickey Conlon, who had a highly modified vehicle in the autocross, and we'll go to Brian now for a description and a watch to see how he got on the track.
It's a buggy, I believe, or of some type.
That's right. A wee 600cc motorbike engine in it, and not a great yoke for a cold day, but nice yoke on a warm day, you know.
Yeah, but today and not now, we've had hail and sleet and snow and rain, so I wouldn't say that you're too warm or too dry.
No, definitely not. Well, certainly not too warm or dry, says a fella. It'll be a lamp sip we'll want when we get home.
You must love your motorsport to take this out on a day like today.
That's right. Oh, 'cause it's good fun to drive, you know, and when you're in it, you're driving it, and look, it's a bit of crack, you know, it's only rain.
And the fact that it's so light, I'm sure it'll compete favourably with some of the other cars.
Not too bad. Now, a dry day would suit it a lot better. But look, you have to take the dry day with the wet day, you know. That's the
I see you're on slicks, so that wouldn't help in the conditions today.
No, wouldn't suit now. Should have really had wet rubber or intermediate rubber on it, but sure, look, I wanted to keep them for a dry day, and if you cut them, you can't put it back. Right. You know, you have to sort of leave them the way they are. So hopefully the next day will be dry.
And for those who like the stats, could you give me some details on the horsepower and all that's associated with the Yamaha engine?
Well, I think now I wouldn't know a big pile about it. There's about 100 or 110 brake horsepower is all that's in it, but you know, it does rev. It revs on ahead to 18,000 revs, so you know, it makes a lot of noise and it's good fun to drive. Like. And
the top speed would be on the 0 to 60, I suppose, acceleration important coming out of bends and everything.
But 0 to 60 would be good. I'd say it would be 3-4 seconds maybe, you know. But top speed, it might only do 80, 90 mile an hour at the same time. It's geared well down, you know.
Well, on a track like there's not too long a straight, so you probably don't get too many opportunities.
No. Like there's no car going any quicker than 80 mile an hour out there any day. You know, the track's just not long enough and wide enough, you know.
And what people don't realise is that those sort of speeds you're up at Formula 1 speeds.
Well,
in acceleration, anyhow.
Well, I suppose in acceleration, and you're only 3 or 4 inches off the ground, so it adds to excitement, you know.
And how would you feel that you'll be able to compete with the other ones?
Well, on a dry day now, you should be able to compete fairly well in it. But now on a wet day, you're really struggling, you know. But I'm still only learning it. I only have it. It's really only my second day maybe here in this thing, you know. So it'll take a while to get onto the hang of it. But we're going to stick at it this year and see can we master it.
Well, we hope on All About Sport to follow the series as closely as we can. So maybe on days that more suitable to your vehicle that we might see some success.
Aye, with the help of God, Isabella. Yep.
Until we talk again.
Oh well, thank you.
Yeah, he's actually using dry tarmac and sun splitting the stones kind of stuff that day, but I don't know, he just seems to make it work relatively, as we just saw, but it seems to work fairly well.
Brilliant. So that was Mickey Conlon there. Tell us a bit more about Mickey. He's his successes.
Well, Mickey is our club champion for this year, last year, 2012.
Yeah.
But he's also the previous 2 years, so he completed a fairly successful hat trick. So he's an all rounder. Mickey, now in fairness, he's very good at what he does. So
yeah, it was great to get to watch him there. Tell us then, you've got the results from the day. So
I do, yeah.
I'd like to maybe read them out to our viewers. If you want to just say it into that camera there, Rory, that'd be great.
Well, unfortunately, Mickey just didn't do the business that day. But
no, it must be them tyres.
Yeah, that was it.
Down.
No, but well done to Joe Smith, a man. He's from Castletara. He does a lot of the quarries, so he'd be well used to what he's at, but he enjoys the wet, so he made full use of that day. So well done to Joe. And second place was Mel Mulligan. Third place was County Cavan club member and another Mudgebawn man, Damien O'Reilly. Fourth place is Alan Pickens. Fifth was Martin Collins, and sixth Shane Martin. And like I said, Claire Rooney won the juniors in the end, so well done to her.
Oh, brilliant.
So that's it now until the 7th of April in Latton. So
7th of April, back to Latton for
another blast
of the autocross.
That's right.
And you're saying you might be coming to Kildallen maybe? Who knows?
Oh, who knows?
Please do. Back to Kildallen so I can get out on the church walls and watch the show. Rory, thank you so much for coming in. You're very good for coming and speaking to us again on behalf of Cavan Motor Club. It's great to always have you on the show. And that's it for this week, so thank you very much. So thank you to Rory Nash from PRO from Cavan Motor Club. I will be back again next Wednesday evening at the same time, 7 p.m. So, and up next, our weekly music show, The Green Room with the gorgeous Paul Cox. But until next week, it's goodbye from me, Louise O'Reilly.